going on YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new, please watch previous videos, like, comment, subscribe if you're new. So as you read in the title, I'll be going over how to prepare for our OCS board in service. So as you know, if you're new, I am currently in military active duty. I'm a staff sergeant and I just submitted for the OCS board. So the OCS board, I just submitted for OCS. The OCS board is like the last thing you do, and is at the brigade level. So once you get your packet together, once you get all your medical stuff squared away, once you have everything complete and ready to submit, you would then submit it all to your battalion. The battalion submits to brigade. The brigade will come back and reach out to you and say, okay, this is the date for your OCS board. Now, your OCS board consists of 3 captain and above officers, and they basically have like a board, like an interview on why you want to be an OCS, why do you want to go to OCS. So this is like the last thing they do before they actually submit your packet, and your unit kind of like, it varies on what you wear to the OCS board. So I know I saw some people wear like ASU uniform, dress uniform. My unit, I only wore OCP, regular OCPs, and they wore OCPs as well. And this board is like I look at it like an interview, like you basically trying to like persuade them on why you should be, or why you make a good candidate to the officer corps, and what can you bring to the officer corps. So like I said, I'm a staff sergeant. I've been to the E5 board, the E6 board, so I'm like, I know how a board is. So coming into this OCS board, I was a little nervous, but I knew that it wasn't like I knew it wasn't like as like strenuous or like structured as like an NCO promotion board. So when you at this board, I recommend that you just be confident. Be confident in everything you're saying. Be confident in like your beliefs. They're gonna ask you like, why do you want to be an officer? Just be confident in what you're saying, and be realistic. So I know some people, they want to like portray that he's such a good person, such an outstanding soldier, and say, oh, I want to be like the general of the United States, or general or something. Like, no, just be real. Like, if you want to be an officer, just be like, okay, I want to be an officer because I want to lead troops at a higher echelon, or I want to have a bigger impact on my force or my formation. It's like, it's something realistic. Don't try to sugarcoat it, because like the people that sat on my board, it was like, just be honest, be 100, be real. Why you gonna be an officer, or why should we recommend you go to OCS? So that's why I recommend, like, kind of like understand and like kind of like self-evaluate yourself on like why you'd be an officer, and just be confident in what you're saying. There is a structured interview, I think memo, that they have to abide by and have to fill out for the interview. And you can just look over those questions. You can get that from HRC, or you can DM me or email it to you. So basically it's a memo that's labeled structure OCS interview. Basically it's like all the questions they need to go by and hit for formality for the board. I'll say they note and jot down things and sign it, and they submit it with your packet, saying like basically like, okay, they recommend you going to the OCS board. Going to OCS. Also, when you saying like your bio and what makes you a candidate, be precise and pronunciate your words right. Like, just sound like confident. Like, just be relaxed, like a general conversation, because they're going to see how you talk and how you do at a board under pressure. Because as an officer, you're going to be briefing like higher ranks and like your commanders on stuff that your section or your platoon or your company can do. So just be like like you giving a brief to someone. Be confident and be loud, not screaming, but you talking low and like monotone. So just be pretty good at that. And you kind of practice and look up the questions and see what they're gonna ask. Next, they're gonna tell you, but they're gonna tell you this next question. They gonna tell you that they're gonna ask you this next question, but also I want you to, like, you know, review it before you go to the board. They're gonna ask, do you understand the difference between enlisted and officer? I mean, of course, you know, enlisted is like, you know, NCOs and officers, but understand the difference as far as the job, like, scope. Like, know that, you know, NCOs, yeah, we get the job done. Yeah, we are like the mentors for the soldiers, but also the officers are like the managers, are the planners, are they oversee stuff. Like, they make sure the stuff is like planned out to get done, and the NCOs make sure that it actually gets done. So as a former NCO, you gotta understand, like, you know, you can't, like, as an officer, you can't be like butting into like the NCO's business. So like, if you like the platoon leader and you have a platoon sergeant, like, you shouldn't be doing what the platoon sergeant should be doing. Like, you should be like briefing the platoon sergeant and trusting the platoon sergeant and the section sergeants that they get the job done. So like, kind of like, you know, take off your NCO hat and be more of an officer. That's what they stressed to me. It's like, do you understand like the difference between like officer and enlisted, being that you prior enlisted. So you want to make sure that you know, you trust your NCOs, trust that they get the job done, and just be there as far as like the, you know, the planner, and take. So another thing, once you go officer, make sure when you plan stuff, get your NCOs and platoon sergeant input. Like, don't plan something and then like you might see it out as in working, but your platoon sergeant and your NCOs, they're probably like, nah, sir, that's not gonna work. That's not, because you're not actually on the ground. You're not actually in the motor pool seeing like how this stuff can get done. You just behind the desk planning stuff. So you have to, you know, take their input and see like how they think it should get done or planned. So in the board, they're gonna ask you that, you know, do you understand the difference between that? Also, they're gonna ask you what branches would you want to do and why. So I know my top 3 branches that I am looking, well, I say top 4. So I got top 4 right now. So my top 4 branches I'm looking into doing is signal, quartermaster, engineering, and AG. So those are the top 4 branches I'm looking into doing. And then they ask you why, you know, why you want to do this branch? What make you choose this branch? So I mean, I told them my spiel. You might have your own spiel, your own branches that you want to do, but like research your branches. Like damn near every day, every night, I'm looking on YouTube, looking at the different branches, like just finding like more information about each branch until it's time for me to go. I even at work, I even like, you know, pick the brains of like the branches that I listed, like the OICs, and see like, you know, what would be a good fit for me. And just like understanding, like, know what you want to do in the Army as an officer. Like, just don't pick a branch and be miserable in it. Even though like you're an officer, you still like, you have to be like, put your all into it. So like, pick a branch that's like interesting to you, and that you want to like fulfill, and like, you know, be the branch you want to be in until you retire. So understand the branches and understand your why you want to choose a certain branch. Also, like, overall, just be yourself. Don't come in there and try to act like, you know, you all squared away. I'm not saying you're not. Just don't be like, you know, acting like weird. I say, like, just be yourself, you know. And they could tell if you're not being like your natural self. They're like, okay, you're not really being yourself. So everything you say is probably not true. So just be yourself. Be relaxed. Don't give like book answers. Give like realistic answers. So if they say, so I know in my interview, they asked me a lot. They was like, what makes you a good leader? You know, I said my spiel, but don't say like, oh, I'm a good leader because, or whatever. Don't say no book answer like something you read off the MOI or something. Say like an actual, like, what makes you a good leader? And also they ask like, what have you done in your career that reflects you being a good leader? So I list my stuff, or I name my stuff, and just think about that, man. Just think about how much of an impact you will have once you become an officer. And that's pretty much it, man. So
can't wear my chain no more. We're not a thing, can't take no more. Waiting on yeah,